Hi, my name is Stacy and I'm doing an update for my HCG diet plan. Basically what's been going on is this. I'm about to start my second round and I did not quite follow the Simeon's protocol. What I did was I started on January 22nd. That was a Saturday. Did that Saturday and Sunday for load days. Oh, I'm doing the HCG homeopathic drops, by the way. And so I did 2 load days, and then I did 7 days on the drops, stopped the drops, and did 2 days just on the very low calorie diet till the HCG got out of my system. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been doing phase 3. And thus far, on the phase 2, I lost 11 pounds. And as of this morning, I've lost another 3 pounds on the phase 3. I know it's a stabilization phase, but I still lost weight, and that's cool. I mean, it stabilized at one level, and then it dropped lower and seems to have stabilized there. Anyway, I'm getting ready to on Saturday morning. Today's Thursday, February the 10th. I'm going to on Saturday do 2 more load days, Saturday and Sunday, start the drops again, do another week. So I'm going to continue with the 1 week on, 2 weeks off, 1 week on, 2 weeks off, continuing to do load days at the start of each round and see how well I do. The reason I'm doing it this way is because when I had tried it about a year ago, and I made it for about a week and a half doing the homeopathic drops. And at that time, the drops, on the bottle of the drops, it said to do the drops 3 times a day and go from there. What happened is I got it off of eBay, and off of someone off of eBay, and they had directions with the drops that said twice a day. So what I did was I did twice a day. I don't know what I thought, but I did it twice a day like the directions said that came with the drops, not the ones on the drops. So what happened is by the middle of the second week, I was just ravenous. I was ready to eat anything and everything, and it was terrible. So I stopped. I just stopped, just went right back to eating whatever. As of right now, I'm still about the same weight that I was then. Well, at the beginning of this, I was the same weight I was then. And doing it for just 1 week on, I didn't seem to have that problem. Also, what I did was the first 2 days, doing it just twice a day, like the directions said that came with it, I started to get hungry. So I searched some forums and checked some things out, and they said if you get hungry like that, you're supposed to up your dosage. So I added in another set of drops. So instead of twice a day, I switched to 3 times a day. That seemed to do the trick, and I think if I'd have done that the first time I did it, it wouldn't have been so scary. But as it is now, the reason I'm still doing 1 week on, 2 weeks off is I made a promise to someone very dear to me that that's the longest I'd be on the drops at one time, is 1 week at a time. So I'm going to see how this works, and like I said, so far 14 pounds down, and I mean, it's working pretty well for me. I stabilized, no problem. I actually have some carbs in. I'm eating some carbs lately and still stabilized, not a problem again. So once again, I'll start on Saturday, and I'll tell you what I weighed. I weighed 334.8 when I started, and I'll actually put down below, I'll actually put what I weighed each day, and put the what phase I was on, so that you can see how it's been going, and then I'll update it again and add some more. But it seemed to be working really well for me doing it this way, and I get the load days in closer together, so I'm only 3 weeks between each load day, each set of load days, and I really had a problem with carbohydrates prior to starting this, give you an example, and I'm not very proud of this, but this is what I did. I went out for lunch one day at work. I work in an office, and I decided I was going to get a Big Mac because I wanted Big Mac. Big Mac is one of my comfort foods. The only thing I really eat at McDonald's is a Big Mac. And so I went and got the Big Mac at lunch, brought it back to my desk at work, and, excuse me, and I was eating it and I was finishing it up, and I didn't want to have the container at my desk because it's a little icky. So I took it to our break room to throw it out. Well, in our break room, occasionally when the higher up, the muckety-mucks, have a function and they order luncheon, whatever they don't eat, they'll put out in our break room for other people to have at, do whatever they want to do with it. As I'm chewing the last few morsels of the Big Mac and throwing the bag out, I see that they have mashed potatoes and stuffing and stuff like that. Now this was in January, so it's kind of weird they had turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce and mashed potatoes and green beans. Go figure. But I went and as I'm still chewing the rest of the Big Mac, I'm like, ooh, look what they have. Let me go get a plate. So I proceeded to pick up a plate and get ready to put some mashed potatoes and stuffing on it. And I stopped myself and I'm like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me that this seems like it's okay? And I couldn't, I knew something had to change, and I needed something, drastic to change. And I remember the HCG and the fact that it took me right off the carbohydrates and the sugars, and I think I'm addicted to that stuff. I think at least I was, or I probably still am, addicted to the carbs and probably just the sugar because that's what carbs turn into. Anyway, it was at that point I decided to get some more HCG, look it up, check out the program, the protocols, and get what I needed to get that weekend. And that was on a Friday that occurred. And that weekend I got the stuff. I think I had some HCG still, and that weekend I loaded. So that weekend I loaded on the 2 days, took the drops, and we're now where we are now with me with 14 pounds, a little over 14 pounds down. So anyway, this is going to be for my records as well as other people. Excuse me. Other people, so it might motivate them to do some HCG. And it is super easy. You think that 500 calories, you're never going to make it. There were days that I couldn't eat all of my meal, and I didn't push myself to. If I wasn't hungry, I wasn't hungry. I just didn't eat it, or I didn't eat all of it. But the most important thing is to get the protein in, and I would do that, and the vegetables just kind of went by the wayside if they needed to. So that's it for now. And I'll probably do another video after this round, when I'm getting ready to start my next round, and we'll see how it goes. But if you have any questions about HCG or what I'm doing or how it's working out, just leave a comment below and I'll get back with you. Alright, thank you for watching, and see you later.